Good morning. Hey, I apologize for running a little late this morning, but welcome to part 3 in our series titled Obedience. Started this series last week, and man, first 2 days were good. I got a lot out of them. Today's brings up an interesting subject when it comes to obedience. But we're going through the book of Deuteronomy, and we're pulling spiritual significant points from Moses' sermons or speeches that he gave to the Israelites before they entered the promised land, or while they were wandering in the wilderness, to be honest. So that's what we're doing this, and we're talking about the subject of obedience. And, what better place to pull a subject from obedience from than from the Israelites, who were just defiant in everything they did for the most part. And today we're going to focus in Deuteronomy chapter 9, specifically verses 1 through 6. I'll read them to you real quick. I want you to hear this. This is Moses speaking. He says, "Listen, O Israel, today you are about to cross the Jordan River and take over the land belonging to nations much greater and more powerful than you." Talk about setting the tone, right? "They live in cities with walls that reach to the sky. The people are strong and tall, descendants of the famous Anakite giants. You've heard the saying, 'Who can stand up to the Anakites?'" Now, he's not really setting the stage here for, a good ending. So, yeah, sorry about that. I apologize. But here he says in verse 3, he says, "Recognize today that the Lord your God is the one who will cross over ahead of you like a devouring fire to destroy them. He will subdue them so that you will quickly conquer them and drive them out, just as the Lord has promised." Right? So the Lord's going to go ahead of you and take care of this. But here's where we get to the point that we're going to make today. After the Lord your God has done this for you, don't say in your hearts, "The Lord has given us this land because we are such good people." No, it is not. It is because of the wickedness of the other nations that he is pushing them out of your way. It is not because you are so good or have such integrity that you are about to occupy their land. The Lord your God will drive these nations out ahead of you only because of their wickedness, and to fulfill the oath he swore to your ancestors, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You must recognize that the Lord your God is not giving you this good land because you are good, for you are not. You are a stubborn people. Now, how true is that today? We are a stubborn people, and the Lord is not giving us blessings because we're good. Obedience, the Lord blesses you because you're obedient, okay? Not because you're good. When I read through this, what the Lord spoke to me was the two biggest things that Christians have to deal with, okay? The two biggest things that we have to deal with as Christians in ourselves, not external influence, in ourselves, is pride and entitlement. And you might be thinking, "Oh, no, we don't deal with that." We don't? How many times have you sat back and thought, "I'm a Christian. I'm going to heaven. You should be a Christian too, so you can go to heaven." You know what I'm saying? How many times have you sat back and thought, I'm entitled to God's blessings because I've accepted Christ and I'm reading my Bible and I'm praying. But are you being obedient? So are you truly entitled to those blessings if you're not being obedient? See what I'm saying? In James 4:6, it says, "God opposes the proud, but gives grace to the humble." Maybe you should humble yourself to receive God's grace. That's where Moses was going with this. When he was talking to the Israelites, says, don't get the big head. Don't get prideful and think you're entitled to this land, the promised land and all this stuff. Because you're not. God's giving it to you based on His grace. Just like God gives us blessings because we're obedient, He shows grace to us today. That's what He was doing then. God hasn't changed. Not one bit. So, going through all that, reading this, applying it to your obedience. You're not entitled to God's blessings just because you're a Christian. God's blessings come from your obedience to His demands. Not demands, bad word. To His calling in your life. To His direction. To His guidance in your life. There, those are better words. That's what your blessings are based off of. Not because you're entitled. So, my daily drink today is this. Don't be prideful. Humble yourself. Through your obedience, you will reap God's blessings. Amen? Amen. Y'all have a blessed day. I'm going to get back to work. I'll talk to you tomorrow.